Harper. Jay Bruce is a lefty. Adam Hasley is a lefty. We'll talk about him. Look, we know what Didi's going to do. That's it. Scott Kingery at third base. Scott Kingery. Well, here, I'm going to project Didi for you. I'm projecting Didi Gregorius. At shortstop, I'm looking for him to hit about 260, 25 homers. He may get about 95 to 100 RBIs and only steal you 6 bases. Okay? He hit, as a Yankee, I'll tell you what, he's got a short average fly ball and home run distance. Tell you that right now. We talk about hard hit balls, but Didi doesn't hit the ball far. So that 16 home runs he hit last year, I'm gonna say maybe 20 to 23. I'll give him a little bit more, okay, in a better ballpark. But still, he doesn't hit the ball far. Even his outs are not measured far. Over at so how about that one? All right, even his outs aren't measured far. Over at third base, one of my favorite guys who helped me finish in the middle of the pack. Andrea's here. What's the matter? She needs coffee. Scott Kingery over at third base. Disappointing rookie season where he only hit 226. Took a big step. All right. Hit about 260. 19 homers, 15 stolen bases, and 500 plate appearances. Okay. He will do better than that this year. Okay. He'll hit about 255. Get you the 18. I'm Scott Kingery. Where is he going to play? He'll play second. He'll play third. He'll play outfield. I like Kingery for the value. Okay, you got that? Mike Kingery, that's his father. Played for Seattle in the outfield, right? I had him too. That's it. George and I in Own Holy Toledo, we're talking about players whose fathers we drafted. I drafted Bob Boone. I drafted Gus Bell. Right, so there you want to go back? I'm drafting grandchildren now of the players I once drafted. Outfield, you got McCutchen, Bryce Harper. You want me to talk about these two guys? There's nothing to say that we don't know. Hasley, Hasley. Let's just start with him. If you want to know about Bryce Harper or Andrew McCutchen, then, I don't know, you shouldn't be playing fantasy baseball. But Hasley, interesting player. He's going to get the nod as the starter in center field, okay? Adam Hasley. Disappointing eighth. He's an eighth overall pick in 2017. Made his major league debut ahead of schedule in early June, okay, when they lost McCutchen with a knee and Odubel Herrera with a suspension. He remained on the roster for most of the season. He started all 3 outfield positions. I project him to hit about 280 with 7 to 10 home runs, 6 to 10 stolen bases. He's 23 years old, okay? His accelerated timeline, there's still plenty of time for him to develop, okay? He may be nothing more than a 4th outfielder, okay? So I'm not going. He's expected to start in center field. That was announced by General Manager Matt Klentak, but we'll see. Nothing guaranteed. I am not going the extra dollar for him at all. Not going to go the extra dollar. Who could be the son? Don't forget, Jay Bruce. Roman Quinn. Now, Odubel Herrera is a forgotten guy, but you just never know with these guys. Roman Quinn, absolutely somebody to watch out for. We have been waiting for Quinn because of his projected stolen bases. He made his major league debut back in 2016, but nothing has really changed. The injuries. He'll hit 250. He'll still get 15 bases. That's about it. Okay? He stole 8 bases in 44 games last year. 44 games, and he stole 8 bases. All right? He's never played 100 games in a season in his professional career, and he hasn't even reached 80 since 2016. He is nothing more than a very special pinch runner. Yes, President Trump has not made his appearance on TV. He's been anxiously waiting for us to finish our podcast, so we'll keep it going, okay? Now, as far as the pitching staff is concerned, uh, the pitching staff, I mean, you got Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, we talked about, Zach Eflin, Jake Arrieta, Vince Velasquez, Nick Pivetta. Let's talk about Nick Pivetta for 1 second, okay? Because this guy was supposed to be something. This guy was supposed to be something. We already talked about Zach Wheeler, but let's talk about Nick Pivetta. A lot of disappointment on how the season went for Nick Pivetta. As Pivetta came out of the box in 2019, his future was far from certain. All right, he was ticketed for Clearwater, but his role with Philadelphia was not guaranteed, even if he remained on the team. But look, he got a chance to play. He'll compete with Zach Eflin and Vince Velasquez for the final two spots. His 4.7 ERA was not impressive. His strikeouts, 10.3 per 9 innings, okay, were considered to be much more of his ability, okay? So we'll see. He's got a curveball. It was flat all year. The development of a changeup, he tinkered with that all spring training, but it never came around. So he looked like a dominant weapon in relief for a week in July, but then he fizzled. His fastball was at 95. This is a guy that you got to watch. His curveball was too predictable. It hung the whole deal. Watch Pivetta. His developing changeup is his big focus. If he masters that, could be. Now, anybody else on the pitching staff? As Andrea has said time and time again, Vince Velasquez has so many pitches, he can't figure it out. So many. But when I saw him first up close and personal, I asked him, who is this guy? He's going to be good, but it may take a little time, okay? May take a little time. Hector Neris is going to be the closer, but they got Sir Anthony Dominguez, Hector Neris, David Robertson, Tommy John. Hector Neris is the closer in Philadelphia. Okay, let's take a look at some of the prospects. And the number one guy that I want to talk about is Alex Bohm. Alex Bohm was our first-round pick. The scouting report was tall, right-handed hitter, consensus best offensive player in the 2018 draft. Great combination of power. He's got a great awareness of the strike zone. I saw him play in the Arizona Fall League. Andrea did too. He needs work on his defense. Looks too big for third base. All right, looks like he'll change his position. But still, he zoomed through 3 levels in the minors. Arizona Fall League as well. He paced all the Phillies minor leaguers in on-base percentage with a 3.7 something. Okay, but it's his defense. Draft this guy. 2 talent evaluators from the National League teams expressed doubt if he could handle third base. But he can absolutely hit. That we all know. He could hit. So, he could hit. As far as the odds on the Phillies, I'll get to that in a second, okay? But, yeah, we will. We'll get to that in a second. But here's the other Philly prospects that we got to talk about, okay? First of all, you got Alex Bohm. We just talked about him. We just talked about Spencer Howard, who is a tremendous pitcher. His 2019, he jumped all the way to Double-A. He got a plus changeup. It borders on a palm ball. He got a great grip. I saw him in the Arizona Fall League. He will ultimately break out like a Luis Giolito type, okay? But let's not go crazy for him this year. Luis Garcia, talented infielder. He's only 19, second baseman, shortstop. It's unlikely He's got a promising hit tool. Okay, very solid hit tool. So he's a very promising player, despite the fact that last year he only hit about 190, something like that. So just keep an eye on him. Bryson Stott, pretty good shortstop, average tools, but he's projected to be a decent player. Nobody else really jumps off the page. Adonis Medina is 23 years old. He's got 3 above average pitches. Francisco Morales, one of the high upside young arms in the game, extremely raw, only 20 years old. So nothing really to say. Anil De Los Santos, interesting but inconsistent. He's got 2 promising pitch combinations, but he's called an enigma. In 2018, he dominated AAA, 126 innings, 2.6 ERA, 1.1 WHIP. But he made his debut later in the year, made 2 starts, 5 relief appearances, and nothing special. So just watch him. He could catch on fire. And don't forget, former #1 pick, trying to regain his status at age 21, Mickey Moniak. Remember him? The Phillies drafted Moniak #1 in 2016 and never really panned out. He's got a compact swing. I've seen him. He tinkers with everything. He's had all kinds of bad luck with his BABIP, but no consistency. He made some power strides in 2017, but Moniak is still begin a question mark. So if you're playing in dynasty leagues, I would take him, but I'm not going crazy. And that just about kicks things in the wall for all that stuff. The Phillies, by the way, 16-1 to win the World Series. I'm not buying it. To win the National League pennant, okay, to win the National League pennant, the Phillies are 7-1. No, I'm not taking it. But I will say, and I will go out on that proverbial limb, Zach Wheeler is going to be this year's Garrett Cole. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I love you all. I'm not kidding. All right, coming up today, I don't even know who's coming up. Guest Francesa is here. Nice to have you with us. Brooks, I think the market's a little flat today, but as long as it doesn't crash. Greg, Dale, DK, Lush, George, George, we got to change your date from Monday. Come on, buddy. Change that Monday so I can listen. Malpal, The Itch, Phil Chaplin in that fantasy baseball magazine. Ray K, still a diaper in his baby. Kevin Hastings in the fantasy baseball magazine. Unholy Toledo was here before. White Sox Al, Zelmo, Mitchell Harston. Away we go. Love you all, everyone. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, President Trump, it's all yours. Hello. Oh, I'm still on the air, but I'm taking a call.